Greetings, Earthlings and galactic creatures. Welcome to our new podcast, U.F.O, Unfiltered Foreign Opinions. With your hosts, I'm Bob.
And I'm Marley. And today's episode is debating human conspiracies. Okay, our first topic, the Earth is flat.
Today, I'll be debating the obvious fact that the Earth is flat. How do humans actually know the Earth is round? Many humans claim that their planet is spherical, but those same people have never left to confirm this suspicion. Instead, they rely on second-hand information and images from a small number of space organizations on their planet. Information that can be tampered with, altered, and manipulated. From my perspective, the trust you place in your leaders is questionable.
Planets, including Earth, are spherical because of the level of gravity that pulls everything towards it. The Earth's core has a strong gravitational pull that draws all matter towards a central point. If the Earth was flat, how does gravity pull things towards it from one side only? That just doesn't make sense.
Marley speaks of science and evidence in an attempt to support this claim, but much of what you describe to be evidence has not been directly experienced, even by those that promote it. Instead, it is accepted, encouraged, and rarely questioned. When humans look out beyond the horizon, there is one noticeable observation. The horizon appears consistently flat. There is no visible curvature to the naked eye, regardless of the landscape. This even applies when they travel in aircrafts at high altitudes, as the horizon remains level to the human eye. You would think that if the claim the world is spherical is true, there would be a clear indication. Yet, there isn't.
And I know there isn't a very distinct curve to see, but the Earth is so big there's no way you'll be able to see a curve. I visited the United States once and went to the Lake Pontchartrain transmission line in Louisiana, and the straight line of 85 power transmission towers have a very distinct curve at its vanishing point. This is evidence of the curvature of the Earth. If the Earth was flat, the vanishing point of the towers would intersect with the horizon line, but it doesn't. The end is rounded off as the towers go below the horizon. Also, have you ever been on a plane? No, you're an alien. If you've been on a plane before, you would see a distinct curve of Earth from the window without the use of any measurement tools. You can see it with your naked eye.
I mean, if you want to use that logic, you're an alien too. And when humans place themselves thousands of meters in the sky in this metal tube that they call an airplane, and their only vision of the outside world is through curved and tinted windows, might I add a surface that can alter light, color, and perception, it means that they're not seeing reality as it is, only as it is presented to them. Now let me get back to what I was saying. Much of the information given to the wider public has been filtered and shaped by the media. They are in control. They select what information is shared and represented. With the rise of what they call artificial intelligence, who's to say what is real? Images and videos can be edited. They can be obscured. They can be entirely generated. As a result, the concept of authenticity has become difficult to define. To put this into perspective, do you really think that humans have been to the moon? I mean, seriously? We haven't even been to the moon. And you want me to believe that they have? Not only that, the flag was waving as if there was a breeze. They live-streamed it in 1969, and they haven't gone back since. The jokes just write themselves at this point. If you people believe that, I guess you can believe anything.
I can show you proof right now. The Earth is literally right there, next to us. You can see that it's round. And guess what? We're in a spaceship right now. So let's go fly around the Earth. If it was a flat circle, then we will see the edge. But we won't because it's a sphere. You're going to see a circle every which way we view it from.
You raise a fair point, Marley. But from where I'm sitting, it looks pretty circular to me. But humans say it's a sphere, right? Here I am, using my common sense, and observing it from a distance. All I see is a horizon, stretching interminably. Isn't it hilarious that I can see the truth, but you still believe the lies that have been implanted in your brains? I'll leave you with this. If the Earth was really round, how do you explain Australia being upside down?
How do I explain Australia being upside down? Gravity? Now, moving on to our second debate. Did aliens build the pyramids?
These humans are so eager to take credit for our hard work. They want to make claims that one of the greatest wonders in their world was built by them. Such a bold statement, when in fact they still can't even explain how they were built. What appears to be interesting is the lack of clear records. Humans love a good blueprint, or better yet, an instruction manual to complement their flat-pack furniture. You would think that for the project of this magnitude and scale, they would at least have some kind of evidence or explanation for how it came to be. But no, all they have are theories. Let me make this clear. Humans didn't build the pyramids. They merely inherited them. The pyramids are one of the ancient masterpieces of Earth. They were built by us over 4,500 years ago, and we constructed it with millions of massive blocks made of granite and limestone, many of which weighed over several tons. At the time, humans had no advanced machinery. There were no cranes or transportation methods to lift these materials. See, we had a plan. We had a purpose. We wanted to create these structures to store and generate power, which is why we utilized the resources we found on Earth, granite and limestone. These structures were not built for display or to be admired by tourists. They were built with function.
There is in fact archaeological evidence to prove that the pyramids were built by humans, not aliens. I've done my research, and apparently there is a diary called the Diary of Mera, written by a human over 5,000 years ago who was there when he helped build the pyramids. And in that diary, there is written documentation that states the effort that a team of human workers put in to transport materials from one place to another to build the Great Pyramids. If aliens really did build the pyramids, why would humans go to the extent of making up written recordings documenting labor, payments, engineering logistics, and architectural structural plans?
If this human was really there, how come they didn't write about our species being there? I'll tell you why. Because they wanted the credit for it. As I was saying, granite is high in quartz, which under immense pressure can produce electricity, whereas limestone, particularly the type we used, acts as a powerful electrical insulator. And you want to tell me that the humans 4,500 years ago understood that? To this day, humans still question the purpose of these buildings. They think they are for tombs or monuments. They try to decipher the meaning behind the symbols we left. They aren't even close.
Archaeologists have found markings inside the pyramids clearly left by human workers. These markings included crew names and instructions which wouldn't make sense if aliens built them. I also don't recall any stories where our ancestors flew to Earth to build the pyramids. And besides, there is also proof that there were worker villages and cemeteries near the pyramids. We don't use cemeteries, we blast aliens into the sun. The idea that aliens built the pyramids mostly comes from people underestimating how skilled and organized ancient civilizations actually were. Humans are just naturally ignorant and degrading like that. So realistically, it wasn't us. It was just really hardworking humans with a lot of time and effort.
Let me take you back to the construction process. I'll emphasize the precision that was involved in this. The pyramids are close, if not perfectly aligned, with the cardinal directions of north, east, south, and west, which even today, with the tools and machinery their species has developed, might I add 4,500 years later, would still struggle to replicate. From our perspective, this was no accident. This was intentional. The real question is, why would humans think they built it?
Last but not least, our third topic, are robots taking over humanity?
From an external perspective, it has become evident that the human's role in the food chain is being challenged by the very thing they created. We have seen the development of the human race. We even considered it to be impressive. But these machines that they created have adapted, evolved into something that now even exceeds our expectations. This marks a turning point. If only they had seen the signs sooner. When a creation begins to surpass the person who created it in competence and in skill, control is no longer guaranteed. Your big corporations are driven by one priority: maximizing their output and making money. So when something emerges that can complete tasks faster, more cheaply, and with greater precision than humans, don't be so surprised when you find yourself getting replaced.
First of all, robots are not smart enough to take over humanity. They fundamentally rely on human input, programming, and control to function. Sure, there will be job displacements where robots take over the majority of human labor, but not the entire world. Like I said, robots still require humans to fix them when something goes wrong, to control them, to code them, to do everything for them. Have you seen them when they run into an error? They just shut down and freeze. That's not a supervillain ready to take over the world. That's a slow computer.
Humans have created tools which can make decisions faster than the species that created them. It has changed everything: communication, transportation, and creativity as we know it. With each passing day, they become more dependent on artificial intelligence to function and complete everyday tasks. A tool is supposed to assist the operator, not overthrow them. This distinction appears to be becoming blurred. Do you not see the danger? You shouldn't be worrying about what isn't on your planet. The real threat already lives among you.
While advancements in artificial intelligence have made machines more efficient and capable of performing human tasks, they don't possess the ability of consciousness or emotions. So the idea that robots are secretly plotting against humans is genuinely laughable, because they don't even have feelings. You can't plan a takeover if you don't care about anything in the first place. Humans can't possibly code humanized emotions into digital technology like that. They can fake it and pretend to have emotional qualities, but it's not real enough for them to develop a consciousness to overrun humanity. Everyone is so scared and paranoid about the idea of robots taking over Earth. But humans literally digitized every single element of them. They built them, they control them, they reboot them and update their softwares for them. So if they get worried about robots becoming smarter and more powerful than them, they can simply just turn them off and reboot their system. The claims that robots are taking over humanity is exaggerating and unrealistic. If you believe it, it means you watch too many sci-fi movies. And that's it for today's episode of U.F.O with your hosts Bob and Marley. Thanks for listening and we hope you enjoyed. Make sure to tune in next week for more episodes.